Okay. Hey everyone, Screen913 here. Joined this time by Inferno Canuck.
Hello.
And hopefully this is recording. I'm having some difficulty getting my desktop recorded, but this should be working.
Oh,
Inferno, can you see everything?
yes I can.
Yay! Okay, this diary is going to be about dialogue, how to program dialogue into your character, how to add some voice to it, etc., 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 and then I should give you a final, showing of what that looks like. Now, in the last diary, we made ourselves a full-fledged follower in Freya.
Woo.
Basically, I made Freya the NPC and made her a
Yeah.
follower, so that you can
Cool.
actually walk up to her and say, "Follow me, I need you," and she'll be like, "Okay."
Squee,
Uh huh.
I have a just quick question about Freya.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of important for her character.
Mm-hmm.
How busty is she? Like, are we talking like C cup, D cup, double D?
She wears steel armor, so you know what?
So
I tell you what.
how big's the steel
How big is steel armor? You
in
know what?
the in
I
the,
will
in the
show you.
bosomy area?
Let's take a look.
Oh,
Shouldn't be
okay.
encouraging this, really.
Really? No, it's important. It's important for her character development.
It's not
Right?
really. No.
No, because if she has a very big bust, she could develop back problems. Maybe she's, grouchy for any reason. Okay, all right, that's fine. That works.
Hang on, let me. Yeah. How is that busty enough for you?
It's pretty busty. Okay, anyway, sorry. Dialogue.
Look at
women
she's
like
staring
when you
at you
talk to
now.
them, so,
She's
oh
staring
God, that's
at
kind
you.
of creepy.
Isn't it? A little bit.
Okay, just a little bit.
All right.
All right.
So we're gonna do dialogue for Freya. She would have cut your head off for that, probably.
Yep. Luckily, she's fictional.
Her and her
Brianna's
voice
not
actor.
here.
All right. So we've made Freya. We've made the NPC Freya. Actually, God, I gotta give her armor back. Otherwise,
You leave her like that.
going to Skyrim and she'll be just walking around in her undies. No,
Works.
that is not
She can
acceptable, Inferno.
She can be an exhibitionist.
No, she cannot be an expeditionist.
Freya the expeditionist. Expeditionist.
Expeditionist? Well, they can't expedite certain
Expedalionist.
things, that's for sure. All right. Let's see. Yes. Okay. There's her steel armor.
Whatever. I
Wait.
guess that'll work.
All right, so dialogue is a complicated thing. So I'm going to take you guys through it step by step. It's complicated first. Once you get the hang of it, it is really easy. It's just a bit time consuming. But I promise you, this creation kit makes it easier than any of the others because of the way it's laid out.
That's awesome.
The first thing to understand is that in order to do dialogue, you have to make a quest. Because a quest is where all dialogue is seated. Even if it's never a full quest, like go here, get this thing, return that to whatever, even if you never really see the quest itself, the quest is where the dialogue sits. It's like its nest.
Okay.
so-
So even if it's just you want to talk to an NPC about the weather, you have
You
to make
still
a
have to
special
make a
weather
special-
quest
Exactly.
just for a place for the dialogue to be stored.
Exactly. Or what you can do, like what I do, is you can make one quest and give all that NPC's dialogue to that quest.
Okay. Oh, neat. Okay, so you can even... Okay, cool. Well,
So
continue.
you go down here to quest in the character. This is the object window. You don't know, but I've already explained this part.
That's fine.
This
Don't
is
worry
the
about
object window, which is where you find all your NPCs, gear, items, stuff that you can put in the world. This is your world window, which is where you can go to any location in the world. And this is your window, which is kind of like your eyes, your window into the world. So in other words, if
Gotcha.
I chose a location, this is where I can drag and drop and edit things.
me. Nice.
All right. So you go to character quest, and then you choose new quest. New. Now you have this window here, and it looks complicated. It's really not. You got to give it an ID. So we're gonna say, to Freya. All right.
Okay, so it can be alphanumeric, numeric,
right.
right?
It's all alphabetical. The reason why I put a number in front of it is because it tends to shoot it to the top of the list.
Okay.
So that's just for me. You don't have to do that. In fact, you could just put the name and then use the filter to find it. I just like shooting it to the top of the list. So now we actually need a quest name, so we're gonna call it Hi. The quest is named Hi, not like GH, just HI. All right. Now priority. Priority tells the game how important this quest is. If an NPC had multiple quests to give you, this would tell it which quest to give first. Which
Okay.
one should show up first. Now, the default is 60, and for most intensive purposes, all you need to worry about is 60. If you really want it to be important, you could put 90 or whatnot, but especially for general just dialogue, 60 is fine.
Okay.
And then make sure you have checked Start Game Enabled. This means that once you start the game, this quest will be available, as opposed to not becoming available until certain things happen.
Okay, so you can change that. That's neat.
Right. So you do that. Run once, warn on alias, fill, failure. I don't really know what those are, and they're not really important to what we're trying to do. These functions are more advanced. If you're trying to do more advanced things, you can worry about it. But all we're worried about right now is just that. You don't have to worry about type. You don't have to worry about object window filter. Just the name, the ID. The ID is what the creation kit uses to find it. Also what the console uses to find it. The name and the priority. Now you have to hit OK because as you see, there's not that many tabs up here right now.
Yeah.
You have to hit OK. This is a thing with the creation kit, and we'll get into this again later on. For some reason, you have to hit OK. You have to kind of like let the creation kit know, okay, here's a quest, we've made it. And then when you go back into it, you'll have a lot more options.
Huh. That's interesting.
So you have to make sure to hit OK and then go back into it. Now, there's quest stages. They can be used for dialogue, but I'm not going to get into that into this diary because it's a little bit more advanced. But this is where you tell it, like let's say you want multiple conversations with this character. And you want this conversation to show up first, and then once that conversation is done, you want this conversation to show up, and then once that conversation, this is where you set that up.
Okay,
Basically,
cool.
you set up stages of the quest, and then later on you'll tell it, okay, this conversation happens on this stage of the quest. But that's a
okay.
little more advanced. We're not going to worry about that right now because you don't technically need to do that. Okay, so what we're going to worry about is dialogue views. This is our main work area when creating dialogue for the character.
Okay.
What you're going to do is you're going to first go to your editor ID. You're going to type new, and it's going to pull up your new quest, or the quest that you're in right now. So this is what you need. All right. Oh, okay. Sorry. You're going to have to change the name,
it.
though.
Yeah, I
Yes.
was about to say. It
So-
already has an ID.
Let's name it Hiya. Like, hi there. All right?
Oh, I thought it was a combination of Hi and Freya.
Oh, wow. Yes, that's good job catching gold star, sir.
Yay!
Yeah, I didn't think about that at all. Okay, so now this tells us that this is the dialogue chain that we're going to be in. Now this is our work area. It looks blank right now, but that'll change in a moment. And this is why this creation kit is so much better. Normally, what you used to have to do, well, no, because it's blank. What you used to have to do is go to this thing, and then you would do the dialogue here, and then there'd be little windows here to tell it, okay, well, this dialogue will lead into this dialogue, etc., etc. They've made that all incredibly easier now. All you do is you go here, you right-click.
So here's a question though: why do they still have the player dial? Is that just to tinker?
No, it's in
with
case
it,
you
or-
didn't like that method. If you're
Oh,
familiar
okay.
with the old way and wanted to keep doing it the old way, I don't know why you would, but why take it out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So make sure you have your quest highlighted or your dialogue highlighted. Then you go to create branch. Of course, you got to name it. Let's name it. Hello. Oh wait, I already have hello. Darn it. Let's name it
Inferno is sexy.
F1.
Okay.
That's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
And the
same
topic will be Hi 1. Okay. Now it creates this.
Thing. Oh,
thing.
neat.
Right. This is your little window. This is the first thing that will say when you activate on her. Now, hang on a second. I need to go actually pull up the dialogue.
I know what it is. Spoiler alert.
So, okay. So I pulled the dialogue back up. Actually, let me just minimize this. Close that. All right. And by the way, everyone, warnings again. There are minor spoilers in this. You're basically going to see the first conversation Squeeper has with Freya, and the rest of the story. So,
No, not the rest of the story.
so just be aware that you will see that. You know, and if that's something that you're opposed to, you know, you might want to stop watching. I don't want the render window. I want this thing. Okay. So, basically, like I was saying, this is your first topic. Now, you want to double-click on this, and you go to second load. One thing to always keep in mind with Creation Kit, it has so many files that it has to run through and look for that things can take a while to load, and just accept that fact.
I just gotta be patient.
Right.
There's only so much computational power the software can do.
Now,
in conjunction with your hardware.
the topic text is what you say, what your PC says, or what your PC can choose to select on to start the topic. So whenever I talk to her, this will be the first thing that shows up in the topic window for me to click on. So I'm just going to say, hello. And after that, you don't have to worry about the ID is already, you're going to have to change the ID for the next one and next one. But now it's high one. Subtype custom, leave that alone. Don't mess with it. Priority, don't mess with that. Then you go down here and just right click, give it a second, and then type new, select new, and then this window pops up, and this is a very important window. This is where all her dialogue is going to go. So first, you type in her dialogue. I'm just going to copy and paste it because I already have written it more times than I care to know, and that's a little odd. There we go. Just can you see those red lines, or is that just me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. It's not just me.
I think that's from the screen share.
Yeah, it is. No, actually, it's from XSplit. But either way, doesn't matter.
Oh my God, it's bleeding.
So, so you type what you want her to say. Like, for example, I take it you're the new recruit. I'm Freya Homegear, and you are. And the cool part about this is that when you click on something else, it has spell check. It will spell check your work for you.
That's neat.
Which is neat.
Here's a question. It looks like you can only have 150 characters. Is
correct.
that true?
Correct. I will show you what to do if you have more than 150 characters to use. But yes,
let me just make another
in your topic, what you say, you can only use 80 characters, and what they can respond per response is 150. That's to keep the screen from filling up with subtitles.
Yeah, so it's
Speaker, listener, you don't have to worry about that. That is more for when two NPCs are talking to each other, not to you. We're not going to worry about that. Script notes are for more advanced details, edits, more advanced stuff we don't need to worry about. All right. Sound file, select sound, don't worry about that either. All these buttons are grayed out. I will get to that in a second. Basically, the only thing you need to worry about now is maybe emotion. Emotions there are certain, okay, oh, here's the spell check going into work. Just ignore that. That's spelled right. That's spelled right. All right. Emotions, there are certain facial animations that are preset that you can give them.
That's awesome.
Anger, disgust, fear, sad, happy, surprised, puzzled, neutral. And you have a value. So we're going to just stick her on neutral for now because, she's just saying hello. And then we hit OK. Now, here's what we're going to do. We want to make sure it says has lip file. Lip files I'll get into in a second. They're an amazing thing. Say once because we only want her to say this topic once. Once she said it, we don't want her to say it again. Goodbye, you only use on the last sentence of the conversation because after she says that, it will end the conversation.
Dialogue closes,
right.
Yeah.
So that's all. Those are the only two we need clicked for now. And then here is our function window. This is very important. Right now, as it stands, every NPC in Skyrim would say this because the computer doesn't know who's saying this. We have to tell the creation kit who gets this line.
Although it'd be hilarious if every NPC did say that.
I'm Freya Homegear.
It'll be like being John Malkovich. Instead of everyone's being John Malkovich, everyone's Freya Homegear.
Right.
Homegear.
Homegear. All right, so you want to go, you need to give it a condition. So you go to new. You want the gets ID condition, which basically it's saying that if it has this ID that I'm about to tell you, then it gets this dialogue. All right? There's tons of things you can put here. You can get race, gets sex, gets item, whatever. But all we're going to
sex? Awesome.
In other words, if it's a female or male. But all we're worried about is the ID. Get is ID. All right? Then you go to this invalid thing, and then you're going to find our NPC that we want to give it to, which is one Freya. Right. So,
one Freya.
So this is basically saying that if the NPC I'm talking to is Freya, she will have this dialogue, and only
That's
Freya.
awesome.
All right? So then you hit OK. Don't worry about the rest of this. This is all for other conditions. Right. Not really for dialogue. So now we've put the condition here, and of course you can add more conditions for other things, like for example, only say this at a certain stage of the quest, or only say this if you have this certain item, etc., etc. We don't need to worry about that for now. This is the only condition we need. Now, go to copy condition, and now for every other line of dialogue we use, we can just paste condition instead of having to do it over again. All right. So now that we've told the game that Freya is the one that's going to get this. Now we go back into. Remember, I told you a lot of times you have to hit OK and then go back into it. This is one of those times. All right, and you'll notice now that not only does she have a folder, which basically now it's saying anything I record is going to go into this voice folder, because
Neat.
this belongs to Freya, but you'll see that the record buttons are now no longer grayed out.
So, okay, never mind. You're going to go into this in a moment, so I'm going to wait.
Okay, now recording is important. Even if you don't plan on giving voice to your NPC character, you still need to record silence if nothing else. Why? Because this WAV file that it makes is what tells the game how long to display those subtitles for. If you don't have a WAV file at all, the subtitles will display for a split second and then move on to the next subtitle because the game doesn't know how long to show them for. So even if you don't want to voice your character, you still have to record about 5 or 6 seconds, however long it would take for the player to read those subtitles. Now, also, if you're voicing it yourself, you can just do it right here. You can hit the record button.
Wow.
I am a singing telegram. Do 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 do, and then it'll record it all. You hit done. Then you can preview it. Except I can't because I have a rare bug that's not letting me do it. But whatever. Normally.
But you can do it for real.
Yeah, you can do it for reals, yo. And then you hit save. Which I'm not going to do because I don't want this to... It would mess up what I've already done. I'm basically redoing all this for you guys, so if I hit save, it'll add voice files in there that I don't need. It'll just clutter it. But what it'll do is when you hit save, it'll turn these two things into Y. In other words, it'll say, yes, I have a WAV file. Yes, I have a lip file. A lip file is an amazing thing that this game does. I have no idea how it does it, but it listens to your WAV file and makes their mouth move in accordance to what you said. So in other words, it will actually look like they are saying what you just recorded.
It's not exactly perfect.
No.
But the starts and stops of words and them opening up their mouth is pretty goddamn accurate.
And even the
especially.
shapes. Even the shapes.
Yeah.
Like if I was saying, oh, it would actually show like their lips kind of making that, more or less. It's really cool. Yeah. But so you want to make sure those turn to yes when you hit save. And then that'll save your, it'll save not only what you recorded, but your lip file as well. Or your quietness if you were just recording blank sound. Yeah. And the good part is if you're just recording blank sound, the lip file will just, they won't say anything, you know?
They'll just stare at you and be like, oh my god, they can read my thoughts.
Now, for me, it's a little bit more complicated because I'm using voices recorded by you guys, not by me.
Yes.
So I have to do some extra steps somewhere else down the road, but we're not going to worry about that.
Okay.
So anyway, you've recorded it, you've hit yes, blah, 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 blah. Then you hit okay. And then you're done with this one. So then you hit okay. You hit okay. And it shows it here. You can show all text by clicking that button. And it shows your topic and her response. Now, just go to this little outside orange part right here. Right click. Go to add topic.
Okay.
Then give it a second, and then you'll add a new topic, just F2, and then you will write what you say to her response. So she says, what's your name? And of course, Squeeper goes.
Oh, so you're creating like branching dialogues.
Exactly.
Of sayings and responses.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I say my name is Squeeper, and then down here, just like last time, of course, it'll spell check. Just last time, come on.
Squeezer. Your name is Squeezer now.
It's still Squeeper. And then you, of course, you add her response to it, which is...
Oh, you're adding in her response to it. Okay.
Well, you add yours goes in the topic.
What of course, you say because you're the first person. That's what you're saying. That's exactly. Yeah, I get it.
And then hers goes into response text. We're gonna give her maybe a puzzled expression because she thinks it's an odd name. And then we're going to hit OK. Come on, mouse. Okay, and then remember to give her condition, so you hit paste conditions. Now the cool part is that the paste conditions will stick even if you copy paste other stuff. It'll always remember the last conditions you copied. So in other words, I can go over here, hit Control-C to copy this dialogue and put it in there and paste it, but it'll still remember to paste this condition. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, and then remember to hit save once. And then remember to go back in here. So now we've told the game who gets it. It's always very important.
Go back.
Go back in the game, record your file. Even if it's silence or not, whatever. You record it, you save it, you generate the lip file and the WAV file, you hit OK, you're done with this one.
I have a question for you, Squeak. Could you break up her response into two sections, like her saying, "Oh, that's an odd name," and then the next one would be, "Oh well, I suppose what else?" And that way you could give her a puzzle expression for the "it's an odd name,"
Yes, you can.
and the rest of it she could say neutral.
Yes, you can. I'm just about to get into that. Hang on 1 second.
Oh, really?
Right. So back to where were we? Oh yes, I was going to explain. I was going to answer your question for you. So,
Yes.
and pretty much now here's the important thing. Let's say first, let's cover this. Let's say that I had two choices. She asked my name. I have one choice where I can tell her my name and she'll say this. But let's say I wanted to say no, I don't want to tell your name, and then she says, well, you know, screw off, you bloody wanker. Then you go click in the orange, add topic. Of course, name the topic. I'm going to name it F3. And let's say, no, I'm not actually typing this, but I mean, I'm not actually going to do this topic. I'll edit this in a second. But let's just give you for an example, and then new, and then I hate your ears. All right. All right. And then, so let's say this is the other option. Then what you would do is you would just stick this down here. And then I'll show you how to link them at the end, but it's really, really simple. But what you do is basically then you would have these two topics, and you would have this topic linked to both of them. So you would have these two choices, and then it would go to, say, this one, and this one could branch off and branch off and branch off and branch off. This is why it's so much easier to do, because you can visually see it. You could not do that in any of the other creation kits. Now, since mine is a little different, since I know everything that Squeeper is going to respond, I don't have a branch so much as just a log. So I'm going to move this up here.
Sorry, another question then real quick. What if you have more than 150 words in what you want to say before your main character responds to it? How can you just add more dialogue to the same dialogue choice?
I actually am right about to get to that, because the next one we need to do...
For the people watching this, I'm like, this isn't scripted. I'm not like doing this as a part back and forth. These are authentic questions, and this is just a happy coincidence.
Yeah, and no, this is perfect. Why can't I change my... Okay, hang on. I have to change my topic. I forgot I have to edit topic to change what he actually says. All right.
Yeah.
So, so you want to be an Anthrop too, and then of course we're going to delete this because...
I hate your ears!
I hate your ears! All right, come on.
You don't know me! And then she locks herself inside of her room and cries. And plays some, I don't know, My Chemical Romance or something.
All right, delete. Come on, delete, darn it. Oh, game.
Apparently,
why?
Apparently, the creation kit also hates your ears.
I'll just do this. I'll just do it this way. I will just add the response in this way. Now, here's an important thing to understand. When I haven't set a condition yet, you see down here there's tons of stuff.
Yeah.
This is because everyone's getting this right now. You need to make sure. If you see this, you haven't put a condition in to tell it to goes to Freya. So make sure it's like a nice visual reminder. Oh, I need to do that. All right. Yeah. So next thing, to answer two of your questions, what if I wanted to break up the dialogue, and what if I have more than 150 characters, which we have both now? I will show you what to do. Now, next thing she says, she has this entire line. The Anthrops are renowned as being some of the best fighters in the land, possibly even better than the companions. I want to learn from them so that one day I can be a great warrior like the Shield Maiden Matilda. That is obviously more than 150 characters. So we copyright the first part of what we want her to say, and put that in here just like before. Maybe give her yes, that's all fine. Oh, actually, it's not fine. I don't know why. Whenever I spell Anthrops, I never put the H in there. It's like a subconscious thing. But whatever. Let's give her happy. She's happy because she's talking about the Anthrops.
Yeah.
And how she wants to be one of them. So, all right. And then you put that. Make sure to give it, like I said, a condition telling it goes to Freya.
Yeah.
Now, what do we do for the rest of the line? Well, you just go right underneath that text. Right-click New. And it gives you a new window.
And that makes sense. That makes so much sense.
Right, and basically you could just keep doing this forever and ever and ever, and it will just basically... This is how you break up the subtitles.
not only that, not just breaking them up as far as how many words there are, but you can also break it up emotionally as well and have, your NPC responses be a little bit more dynamic than, a single neutral face. You'll be able to set a facial tone along with a, vocal tone.
Exactly. And then, of course, like I said, she's got the condition already. You don't have to set a condition for each line. These conditions go for all the lines. Make sure to click Say Once, and then make sure to go back into them, do your recording. Make sure, even if it's just silence, you need to record it. Otherwise, the subtitles will just fly by. Save the recording, and then...
the whole thing.
Right. And do that for both of them. You have to do it for both of them separately.
Yeah, makes sense. Here's a good question. What if you... Oh, crap. I forgot what my question was. Shoot.
I have no guns.
Oh yeah. What if you don't select Say Once? Will they just say it in a loop, or will that option just always show up?
All it means is that basically, if you don't say one to this conversation, after you finish this conversation, it will be selectable again, and you can go back to it.
Makes sense.
It's almost like when
it's good for like a repeatable thing.
Exactly. When you get to that,
persuade somebody.
Or like when you get to that thing where they have nothing else to say, so they just say, "Come back later. I'm doing calibrations."
Yeah.
That's when you wouldn't do Say Once. Yeah. Okay, and then guys, that's it. It's just a simple rinse and repeat. You do that for every line of dialogue. I'm going to, because repetition is a genius, I'm going to show you in speeded up motion the rest of this conversation. So watch it and burn it into your brain. This is how it goes, because this is really simple. It just takes repetitiveness to get used to it. So, enjoy.
Okay.
All right.
Just let me minimize. Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so that's basically it. You just do that over and over for each conversation. Remember the last one of the conversation tree, you click goodbye so that you will say goodbye and the conversation will end. Otherwise, she'll just sit there and stare at you. And then you hit OK. Hit OK. Now, I'm going to show you how to, one more very important thing. How do I tell this dialogue, this flows into this, flows into this, flows into this, flows into this?
Okay.
Or if I had, like, say, multiple options, how do I tell it that it gets all three options?
Yeah, right now they're all just floating around right now, yeah.
It could not be easier. All you do is you click on it once to where it turns purple. You'll see a little hand. Left click, drag. Left click.
That's awesome.
No, I didn't mean to left click twice, and then.
And so if you had two options, if you stack them on each other, you would just bring that H1 to F3.
Right, exactly. You would basically you would, however many options are supposed to link to this one, you link them. That's all you have to do. If there's 18 options, you link all 18 to that one dialog box.
I'm trying to remember how, you did it the old-fashioned way with the player dialogue window.
Oh my gosh, you had a little window down here that you literally had to add each topic into that window, and then it would tell it that it had to go to those topics, and then you had to go over here and then add the topics here, and then go into the topic, and then type the dialogue, and then add.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a mess.
The nice thing about this is that it gives you a nice visualization of where your dialogue's going.
Exactly, and you can move this around all you want. Now, I do it this way because it's very simple. Also, you don't want to. You see how it tries really hard
That's
to.
the lines.
Yeah. So it's very simple to put it here, and because I'm doing something special where I'm doing more of a story, I don't have to worry about multiple branches. I can just do one
Yeah.
branch. But you might have 16 branches by the time it's done, and this makes it incredibly easier. Now, you're done. This conversation is done. Freya is ready to talk to you. All you got to do is save it. And then we'll go. I'm trying to make sure there's nothing else I'm missing here. Yeah, this is pretty much it. This
It
is.
automatically just gets imparted into your world, even if in the saved game, even
You hit OK.
like you don't just start a new game or anything like that, eh?
Yeah, you start a new game. You hit save. Remember, always save it. It'll save into that ESP. Either you're making a new ESP for this, or for example, I'm saving this into Freya's mod. That NPC file, and then you just go in the game and take a look, and I will see you guys there as soon
Cool.
as I stop recording. Because
Eventually.
that would be great if I could do that. That's
Stop recording.
Stop recording now! Okay, so we go into Skyrim. We test it out. See, hey, look. Oh, hi, Freya. All right.
Hey, I see you have your armor on. That is most unfortunate.
Oh, God.
It's
What?
a fine day with you around.
Now, her face is kind of in shadow,
can I do
so
for
I'm
you?
going to tell her to follow me to somewhere less shadowy
Lead the way.
so that we can really see her, her lips move. Oh, hi,
Yes.
Channels. Out of the way, Channels. I do like all my testing, all my dialogue and character creation and stuff like right here. I don't know why. I just, do. So by the time I'm done, this place will be littered with just NPCs and stuff. All right. So now it's time to test our workout and see how it goes.
I'm right behind you.
Hello.
I take it you're the other new recruit. I'm Freya Homegear, and you are?
I'm Sweeper.
That's an odd name. Oh well, I suppose wood elves have always been a bit different than us.
Okay. So you want to be an Anthrop too?
The Anthrops are renowned for being some of the best fighters in the land. Possibly even
That's
better than
super
the
cool.
companions.
She is really good at moonwalking.
I want to learn from them so that one day I can be a great warrior like the shield maiden Matilda.
The who?
The shield maiden Matilda? She was a great heroine in the tales. One day they will write songs about my glories in battle. They will call me Faye Homegear, the greatest Anthrop since Anthropolis himself.
Why are you moving back, darling? Do I smell? It's you, Inferno, isn't it?
No. No. Inferno bathes.
Ha ha!
What is so funny? Are you laughing at me?
Laugh due to irony.
No, I don't know if being a warrior is the same thing as being an Anthrop.
And what would you know of being an Anthrop?
And I made him. Can't say that, but Well, I think Anthropolis created the Anthrops to show kindness to others and protect the needy, not to look for fights.
And how should one protect those in need if they cannot fight?
Look, being able to fight and seeking a fight are two different things.
This is Skyrim, my dear elf. The fight seeks you.
Ta-da!
Ta-da!
And there you go. There is the conversation we just programmed and linked together and gave to our NPC. And that is how you do dialogue. And that's what you guys have to look forward to. Lots and lots of it. So, everyone, thank you for watching. And I hope to see you guys in the Let's Play. Inferno, thank you for joining me.
Oh, anytime. Thanks for tolerating me. Have fun, guys.
Bye.
See you later.